So thanks for being here today. We're going to do, of course, we're going to talk about the Halloween display. If you were at the gathering, so you've kind of seen this, but hopefully it's a nice little refresher. I'm going to talk about how I built it, show you the steps for it, and then I believe in about 2 to 3 weeks, it will be in the front window over here with pieces on it and trees and everything, so you'll get a much better feel for what it looks like when it's, when it's done, although I think I do have a couple of pictures. So we're going to do this through some slides. I'm going to show some special effects I did with this, and then I'll pause a few times to ask about questions and things. But this one I started with a solid base of 2-inch foam sheet, and I created these slots in there just by simply holding the 1/2-inch foam, bending it and tracing it, and then doing some cuts with my hot wire foam knife. And I did the slots and basically inserted the foam sheets in there. So then I started to build the front piece of it with some pop-out foam, these long strips of foam that you can get that are 6-inch or 4-inch wide, and then a full 2x4 foam sheet in the back. Now, the reason why I built it this way is because I have all my equipment, my special effect equipment in the back. Typically at home, I would normally have this probably under the table in the front, because a lot of my displays are against the wall, so it wouldn't be very practical. But from a presentation perspective, standing behind it made more sense. But you could send all this equipment underneath, under a curtain, and then be able to add water and things like that to the special effects stuff, which I will show later. Now I started building these little compartments here. These are going to be my support for these pieces that are removable, because in here I've got some spotlights with some gel filters that I'll go over as well. And they're pretty big, so they need the room, and I wanted the light to be able to flash everywhere. So these are basically just nice solid stand. Put them there, and I can put any houses on it, and it's solid enough. Now you can see what it starts to look like when I put all these different plateaus. Now some of these are glued down. These over here, this one's glued down. This is solid. This is for the train station over here. I wanted to put it a little higher than the train track so it wasn't hidden too much. But this is removable, and this is removable. Access to the wires and to the lights. Over here, I started to build the mountain that you see in the back here. So I built it simply with some wads of newspaper, some masking tape, and I'm going to be using some plaster cloth. And what I wanted to do here is really to kind of give it some different angles and perspective. And I have a fog machine that will come on, and then the fog will kind of flow down the hill. So it gives this nice effect to it. Applied a little bit of texture to it, some woodland scenics accents, and the brown paint before that. And then use a spray adhesive to make things stick pretty good. Now this is the back. And this is the back without any equipment. So I basically built some compartments so that I could have my different things here. So now you can see at the top there, I have a fog machine, which is actually, and I'll talk about this a little later, so I'll pause on that for now. I have a couple of speakers, and I have a thunder and lightning machine. And what that machine does is it plays a CD of thunder, and it coordinates lights with it so that when the thunder goes, the lights goes. And then at the very end here, which you can almost see, I have a spotlight that goes into the train tunnel, which I will turn on as well, and then some room for a power strip. Now, the next thing I did is I drew my arches. I basically put the foam sheets back in place and just freehand with a pen, just starting to draw my arches. Wherever, you can see over here, wherever I didn't need to go further down, I stopped there just to keep the piece as solid as I could. Now you can see a picture of it pretty much done, which you can see here. The sticks for the railroad are just these little woodsies that they call from Michael's, and I cut them in half. They're pretty much perfect for O scale when you cut them in half. Just a view from up there, you can see up here, so I painted underneath again just so that we didn't see the white there. This is what it looks like. You can see it here. Now this piece, when I did the gathering, the front piece was not painted. I wanted to show it in progress. But since then, and since we're going to use it here at the store, I finished it. So that's because this is a full foam sheet down here, this is an additional piece that I created separately for that, with a couple of spots for the wires to come down for these houses. And I'm going to make some holes in here so they can go to the back. And the design point is that, and then you can use some landscaping material also to hide the gaps there, And the design point originally and future is to also add more sections to the left and the right to taper it down and have more houses on the right side, left side. But this was, transported, so it was kind of hard to have all these pieces. But I can do another 2-foot section here, another 2-foot section there, and now you can fit, over 20, 25 houses on it.